はいはい。원래 히로미야이린. 그래, Scion showcase이냐? I'm Hiromi, they, them, the creative lead for Scion, and also writer and developer for a bunch of other things. This is the Scion Showcase, a show where a bunch of writers and developers get to play the game that we talk so much about and cause a little chaos for each other in the process. And now let's meet our players. Michaela, who are you? Whom do you play? And how concerned are they that they're getting into Baba Yaga's house?
Okay. Hello everyone, I am Michele, he, him. I'm an Onyx Path freelancer from. It's been a while since I said it, since from close the place where the Disney's Luca is set in. So it's been a while. It's important to remember that. I wrote for Chronicles of Darkness, The Word of Darkness, Scion, The Trinity Continuum, Exalted, and I'm also a writer and developer for The Day Came From line. I play Elena Torns Rappaccini, Deidam, a Scion of Veles. And I think that knowing Helena at this moment, they are concerned but also hyped about meeting Baba Yaga, because I think Helena considers Baba Yaga quite cool but quite scary, but one thing doesn't exclude the other.
That is an excellent tack to have with Baba Yaga. David, who are you? Whom will you play? And how concerned are they that they're getting in Baba Yaga's house?
My name is David Castro. They, them. I am playing Damien De La Cruz, he, him. I am a writer and developer. I have developed for Scion and for Exalted Essence. And I've written for Scion, Exalted Essence, Trinity, Pugmire. I think that's all of them. And many other things by many other companies. If memory serves, I wasn't going up into Baba Yaga's house. I wasn't there for this. So I'm not concerned at all, because I'm not aware that this is happening yet. I wasn't there. I was off forging yet stronger fate bonds with the darknet of Seattle, because that's a thing that exists.
I think you had a vision of us doing stuff there.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I did see it in the mirror, but I don't think I had context for what that meant.
Thank you for reminding us of that, because that's good information.
I do pay attention.
Someone has to.
It's true.
And the vision that Damien saw in his Black Mirror, which in this case is not just a Black Mirror, but potentially the Black Mirror, was of Helena riding Baba Yaga's house and fucking jousting. Which,
yeah.
I'm not saying it'll happen, but I want it to.
So my reaction to that is very much that, like, David Tennant as 10th Doctor. What?
Which, is extremely valid response. Elliot, who are you? Whom do you play? And how concerned are they that they're getting in Baba Yaga's house?
I am Elliot Freeman, he, him. I am a writer and developer for Exalted, and I am a writer for Scion. I am playing Beauregard Prescott, BP. He is the son of Gaia. BP has Occult 1, So I think he's just ignorant enough to not be as concerned as he probably should be. And is probably more focused on just like getting to know this new tree person that he's hanging out with now.
Nice. And the tree person, I don't know if BP knows this yet. No, BP doesn't know this yet. The tree person is a Leshy. Possibly
Well,
the Leshy.
I mean, Baba Yaga did say to bring the Leshy.
That's true.
So
That's true.
context clues. But yes.
I do enjoy the possibility that by the end of this session, BP and the Leshy has a "what are we" conversation.
That's a fast relationship, but hey, if it happens.
Look, sometimes it just clicks. To help us remember what happened, because apparently I forgot that Damien was still in the coffee shop at Northgate, which I think we got a name for. We did get a name for it. Oh, fuck.
Elliot's
coffee
name
pot.
Yeah, the coffee pot.
Because apparently it's also a dispensary. Yeah, I think I gave him momentum for that because it's fucking it's great.
And then I spent it to hack things.
So yeah, to help us remember, I'm going to do something a little bit different than I usually do. Like usually I just read my notes, and it occurs to me that that's informative, but not super engaging or necessarily like on a psychological level informative, because doesn't matter. I used to be an adjunct professor. I have a fucking master's in making shit go into people's brains. So instead, I'm gonna do something a little bit more teacherly. So what city are we in?
We are
okay. We're in Seattle.
Okay.
Why?
We are trying to prove the innocence of Karen, last name redacted because I don't recall,
Jameson,
who has been accused of murder, a murder most foul.
And how are you gonna help clear her name?
we do think to have found the person who framed her. At least not the identity of the person itself, but we have clues pointing at a policeman or women, but it's most likely a man for reasons psychological and various. And that is likely a Scion, and also demonstrates some degree of hatred for all things legendary. And we do have clues that this person is trying to set up troubles for an upcoming manifestation. And so we are trying to figure out who this person is, and we'll slowly closing the field and trying to investigate about who has caused troubles to the denizens of Seattle, and other stories to determine from the exact present, the exact identity of this Scion cop.
Yeah, and you have narrowed it down to a cop working the Capitol Hill beat, which is a little bit strange because the murder actually happened in Belltown, which is the other precinct's jurisdiction, which, while it being weird, suggests that the cop who did it had at least worked out of the Western Precinct for a while, which helps you narrow things down a lot. And this question now actually has two answers. Where are you now?
I think in climbing a chicken leg, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
No, there's a ladder.
You are also ignoring my phone call.
Because I'm climbing a giant chicken leg. So
you don't get reception up here.
You'd think you'd get better reception up there.
Baba Yaga has a jammer.
Oh, jeez.
That would be really bad for me. Don't say those words.
You're fine. Your phone ignores it.
There was in one of the thing I remember most fondly from first edition of Scion was a terrain comic that it was like the Dark Woods, and it's sort of the platonic ideal of the Dark Woods where witches live and stuff. So that's how I imagine the environment around Baba Yaga hut.
I'm gonna write that down because that's fun.
It was in the Ragnarok book, and it was a bit of the Ragnarok book that I think survives the chaos of everything else, and also the passage between editions, because it's a cool it's a cool idea for a Terra Incognita to have.
Yeah,
Basically, it's the place where you find witches of all sorts of strange architectural choices for their houses, and also big wolf and that sort of thing.
but not all of you are currently climbing a giant chicken leg in Eastlake.
I
On
am exiting
Eastlake
the
Ave East, which probably doesn't matter, but it's where you are. Sorry, David.
Oh, I was just saying that I was exiting the coffee pot with a latte, and what is definitely just a cigar. This is a family program.
Mm-hmm.
Not on this Christian Twitch stream server.
This good Presbyterian streaming show.
Excellent. And who is with you?
You being me?
I guess probably not Damien, because I don't think Damien has anyone with him.
Nope.
But BP and Helena, who is with you?
I'll write down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Us and Aleshi.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I missed a bit there. Sorry.
No, it's totally right. I
have we passed? Did we get a good grade in RPGs? A thing that's possible.
Fucking 100% A++ would teach again.
Yeah, boy.
And for extra credit, what deeds do you think you can accomplish today? Start with Elliot.
Probably not stunting on Baba Yaga. It's
a safe fucking bet. That's a safe bet.
I want to see you try, though.
Oh my god.
You know what? possibly explore what it means to be Titanic, because she is
Ooh.
very much an embodiment of not good, not nice, but right. So she might help prompt some thoughts there, even if she is not herself Titanic, but Titanic. Yeah.
We'll get into that a little bit.
Fair.
David, what deeds do you think Damien might be able to handle today?
I don't see myself dealing with a ghost that is definitely not a goat, but maybe what it means to be a Scion, because dealing with this existential threat of somebody who is attacking us because of what we are might clue me into other existential things.
Yeah, this is super valid bit. And Michaela, what deeds do you think Thorns might be able to accomplish today?
Considering she is sorta part of the pantheon, or she's in a weird position between demigod and god, and Baba Yaga is strange, but learn more about the Bogovi could be an option here. And also, but I think that's less likely, but it's on the table. Figure out why Thorns got their visitation. I know that this is more for the band, but at least cover my part of that is something that could work here.
Yeah.
Not as likely as learning more about the Bogovi, but I wouldn't exclude that 100%.
Yeah, and as Michaela just pointed out, the figuring out why y'all got your visitations is the band deed. So there's that fun stuff. There's one more thing that is skipped over because y'all were so good at test taking. The murder victim was Akira Tempest, and amazingly, that's actually his real name. It super on the nose, but I mean, sometimes it's
I had
people
a
have
coworker
names
who was
that
an anatomist named Dr. Slaughter. It happens.
Yeah.
I had a friend called Walter Vicious, which I mean,
what was her first name?
Walter. Well, translated from the Italian. The name was Walter because we do have that as well, and the Italian word for vicious, so it was a badass name.
Nice. Okay. And because I think it will be potentially more fun if a bit edging, not edgy, edging. We'll start with Damien. It will become clear.
Okay.
We'll start
I
with
was
Damien.
Thanks, I hate it.
Damien doesn't know if Damien consents to like edging, but that's okay.
Not edging your characters, I'm edging y'all.
I know.
That's not better.
I needed to explain for clarity.
What you're into.
What's Damien doing? just left the coffee pot, has a latte, unspecified type, and just a cigar. A definitely a cigar. Actually, that's probably what it is on the menu. Definitely a cigar.
I am sifting through my phone, checking out the various strands of information I was given and like collating them into something concise, because like I can deal with all of this data, but I don't know if anybody else could. Sort of sifting through the noise, sifting through everything that my apparently adoring worshippers sent me.
Yeah. You have tons of info. Did either BP or Thorns text over anything that they found out? Or group chat? I don't know. I don't know what apps your characters might be using.
We are definitely on like Telegram or some encrypted nonsense.
Yeah, fucking end-to-end encryption.
Yeah.
100%.
I have a question. Would Discord in Scion in the world be called Aris or something? Or we can make that happen?
I am tempted to throw in an Apple pun here, but
Oh, it's owned by Apple.
Eris by Apple.
Or Apple by Aris.
That'd be better. That's good. I like that.
He owns a dating app strictly for like egregiously hot people called Fairest. FRST.
Fucking put another momentum down.
Never forget that Mr. Freeman here is who gave us Nimstagrammers and
Gamer Girl
Gamer
Bathwater.
God
Sorry, Gamer God.
Gamer God Bathwater.
So did either
Sorry.
character send information? We got distracted by fucking awesome app ideas.
I would say no. Thorns wouldn't right now. They would likely ignore everything at the moment and perhaps check later. Sorry, Damien, about that.
I feel like BP
That's fine.
I feel like BP might be the mom friend and be like, hey, just so you know, we're climbing a giant chicken leg.
Don't worry.
Do you want to get wings tonight?
Emoji.
Oh yeah, no, BP uses way too many emojis.
Lovely.
There's a chicken, a pair of wings, and a moon for the night. Perfect.
House chicken leg, like a cooked chicken leg, and then the moon.
Okay.
Question mark.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring it up because it's on my mind and then like immediately try to like suppress it, but I'm just imagining how fucking different emojis in the world would have to be, because like there's so many more cultural influences that are allowed to have equal footing. So like it'd be fucking just fun.
One sec, gotta switch my keyboard to hieroglyphics.
Yeah, the Nature will probably do well with that, to be honest.
Okay. So Damien, you've just gotten a text that is your instincts tell you that it is drastically underplaying fucking danger.
Mm-hmm. The moment this motherfucker over here says climbing a chicken leg, I have a cult what?
Maxed out.
A cult 5, yeah. I know who the fuck Baba Yaga is. I am sending text. Do not get the fuck. What is wrong with you? I am calling BP right now. BP is not answering the phone, but I am definitely calling.
No, definitely not
Absolutely.
answering the phone. Is it ruder and more dangerous to refuse an invitation from Baba Yaga, though?
You want to find out? So yeah, no response to your call. You do probably know their general location, if not like a dropped pin or something. Like,
Yeah.
what you doing?
I'm heading over. Do I probably like rented a car, right? I have money. I can do that. I'm not over here taking a bus.
The hammer's paying anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Even
actually assuming
beyond
that you'd like Uber, but you could also be driving.
Ubering makes more sense. I'm gonna Uber.
Okay. Or whatever Uber is in the world. Anyway.
Yeah, that's coming just a second.
Not everything has to be different in the world. There could just be Uber.
Yeah.
Yo.
All right. Yeah, it'll I'm gonna pretend like traffic in the world is different than real Seattle and say it'll take you like 10-15 minutes.
Sure.
Getting from Northgate to East Lake in the afternoon in Seattle. Probably not going to happen that fast, but this is fantasy.
Mhm.
Okay. So now back over to BP and Thorns. You climb up the legs, and you are now on the threshold to another place.
Okay. I will kindly ignore the skulls putting around the house and just knock on the door, and because it's good manners to knock even if invited.
The door creaks open, and it is just impenetrably dark inside. Like the way, like the sun is it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, and the sun should be shining into the house, but it's not. Like it just hits the threshold and the light just gives the fuck up. Come in.
I'll glance at BP and just say, and I'll go in after signaling that I will.
So you know that feeling that the English idiom is like someone stepped on your grave? I don't know what the Italian equivalent is.
We do have that one.
Okay. You you don't just feel like someone has walked on your grave. You feel as though a lengthy funeral procession has traveled across your grave. It feels like your grave has somehow expanded to unbelievable lengths and size, and that there is just
Good luck,
this
everybody
procession
else.
walking across the entirety of your grave. Your spine feels frozen, as though like the posture you had when you crossed the threshold is unbreakable now. Like you don't feel, well, you don't really feel your body, but you also don't feel the ability to change your posture.
Okay.
Because BP also crossed the threshold. BP feels a very similar procession of dead things marching across his grave. But about halfway through, where you feel like the dead things are starting to clear your grave, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and it just sort of stays there. And then you can see, and so warm, crackling fire. The air smells completely different. It is night. It smells like decaying woods and wood fire and a lot of onion and garlic. Please sit. Make yourselves at home. You, pointing to BP. Tell your babushka it was nice knowing her.
Yes, ma'am. I'll relay that message.
And I don't know whether or not BP or Elliot know the translation of babushka, but Helena knows that means grandmother.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I am free to see Baba Yaga because you were speaking to Elliot, and I'm not sure if I'm also outside of the darkness.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
you are also inside
Okay.
this new environment. You just don't feel a hand on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But by the way, BP still feels a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And Elliot is wisely not having BP look over his shoulder.
Composure 5 means sometimes you just roll with it.
I've read a fairy tale or two. Nope.
This is weird. I'm gonna just go with it for now. Is basically his default response to things in the world.
What
Okay.
brings you here?
You asked us to come, and I thought it was the polite thing to do when asked to visit by someone as important as you. Elena is playing their cards here. They have some knowledge, they have some dots in occult, and also they have expressed some desire to learn about the Bogovi. But Michele hasn't read the Vasilisa tale in a while, so I can't remember how the little kid talked to Baba Yaga. So I'll just fly with what parameters I have, because I can't remember.
Okay. Actually, with that attack, give me occult plus composure.
Okay.
And I think your specialties in authorities and principles, one of the two, or maybe both in half measure, are applicable. So go ahead and give yourself enhancement 1 on that.
I'll go with the one for authorities. Seems right, given. Okay, the dice pool isn't that great, but we'll see. That's a single 10. Let's see if something else happens. Yes, an 8. So 3 successes, with
Nice.
considering the announcement.
Nice.
You are a polite young thing, aren't you?
Not really, but I am in this case.
Does Helena say that?
Yeah.
And so honest and modest. How nice and rare. Speaking of nice and rare things, would you like some kid?
Sure, thank you.
Baba Yaga hands you a small plate with what smells like seasoned lamb, maybe?
That maybe does a lot in this sentence. But okay, I'll. Can Elena try to parse the nature of the meat in this? Not necessarily going for the worst, but I'd like to understand what I'm eating, to be honest.
I'm going to say that you have 7 dice on this.
Okay. And 7. It's 2 successes.
Yeah, this is human flesh.
Okay. And now there's this little conundrum. Refusing is rude, but also I'm not a cannibal. And I don't know what will happen in Elena's future, but we're very far from any Titanic leaning that the future may hold for us.
Howard. I mean, what? Nothing. I was making a joke.
Okay. So I'll just put the plate there for a moment and maybe pretend that I'll let that cool off a little bit and try to avoid the matter entirely.
Uh, does BP take her up on that?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, BP has absolutely been raised in the South. BP does not refuse food. Oh no, I think he does. I think he does take her up on that if she offers.
Which is
Oh, I guess now that I've spilled the kid, I don't need to obfuscate the role. Yeah, this is survival and cunning. Honestly, it's the better of survival or medicine. It just so happened that Helena Thorns had both at the same amount, but the kind of sort of relevant specialty of first aid, which. So, anyways. BP also knows this is human flesh.
I think I need to let this cool too. And sets it down very gently.
So it seems that you, and I suppose I, and many others, have a problem in this city. What have you learned?
Elena usually plays with their card close to their chest, but in this case, I think they'll just tell Baba Yaga. Also because Thorns know they are involved with the Bogovian, so there's some sort of connection going here, and they want to try to get some leverage on that, to be honest. So they're playing a little bit into their trickster calling as well. So they'll tell what they know without basically hiding much, because there's not that much to hide. So they don't have any issue with revealing to Baba Yaga what they know.
Okay. So this Scion is nearby then. She raps on the side of her house, and you didn't feel motion before, but now you feel it as the direction changes, which is kind of everyone like riding in a train or like especially like a subway or something, and then feel it go around the corner. It's kind of like that, where you just got used to how the train was moving and you're like, okay, that's fine. And then all of a sudden, wait. So this child of the gods, what will you do to them?
I mean, I don't think we stopped considering what any exact solution. I think I just turned to BP. It was pretty much a wait and see situation, the way I imagined that.
I mean, it does seem like there's going to be something that comes up very shortly that we should probably be able to do something about before the situation gets any worse.
Yeah, that's part of our plan to stop something bad from happening. As for the Scion himself, I was of the idea of letting things flow the direction they'll flow and just run with it.
Oh, I don't know that you can keep bad things from happening. Ill winds blow. It's a matter of how you tack your sails with them. Damien gets just like a silly number of texts and emojis from Addie. And it seems like she's not that far from not that far out of your Uber's way. It seems like she wants to get picked up or to meet you, especially because she suddenly has no idea where BP is.
Oh, for fuck's sake. She texts me this.
Mhm.
I call her. And await her picking up if she does so. I don't know. She's young. She might not even pick up the phone.
Yeah, she. Hey, so do you know what's going on with the giant chicken? Is that you?
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I need you to be more specific.
Well, so like everyone is talking about some chicken, like it like running
Is it
along the
a
streets.
fucking house on chicken legs? Please don't tell me it's a house on chicken legs.
I think it's a house on chicken legs.
Where the fuck is it?
It looks like it's crossing I-5, which it's upsetting a lot of people, but I don't think them being upset is really the part that we should be concerned about. At least
Yeah, I don't care what people think. So here's what I need from you. The last known coordinates of the chicken house, and then you to make your way towards there. And then I just, like, while I'm talking, because I assume I have like Bluetooth headphones or whatever, I send her my location and go, "Are you near here?"
yeah, I'm like 2 blocks from there.
Stay put. I'm picking you up. Excuse me. And then we're gonna head over there and deal with this. Before she responds, I end the call. And then I pull out
You do hear her
money.
start to say something before it cuts out.
Don't care.
Yeah, I know, but
I am not BP. And then I pull out a money clip and hand the driver of the Uber I am in, let's say $80, and tells him, "This is all yours if you take me where I need to go."
yeah,
On top of whatever you get from the trip we're supposed to be doing.
yep, yeah, sure, okay. He
Take
very
me
clearly
to, and then
doesn't
I tell,
understand how weird his fucking life's about to get.
you don't know, but he gonna learn today. So I direct him to wherever Addie is. Addie gets in the car.
You, yeah, and then I saw this. Oh, you're here. Okay. From context, it kind of sounds like she began a monologue and has not realized that you hung up until now. Oh, okay. Well, so a lot of people are talking online that it's a witch's house, some Slavic witch, and apparently it's apparently she's scary.
First things first, keep her name out your mouth. Second, don't, when we get there, don't. And then I just do like a this, that. Just all of that.
Poor Eddie.
She is, I know I say this a lot in the time that you've known me, but she is not the one to fuck with. So just write that down.
She does write it down.
And not the one to fuck with. And then I direct the driver to the I-5 area. I don't know what that neighborhood's called. I don't know.
I-5 runs the entire length of Seattle.
So crossing the I-5 was super non-specific.
Yeah, it was non-specific. However, it most of what people consider like Seattle proper is like above I-5 with like bridges going across it, and the house walked down the side of the walls and then across traffic and then back up instead of taking a fucking bridge, because house don't care. House don't need fucking bridges. Your Uber does. So you take the Denny Bridge, which is the steepest fucking hill in Seattle. And traffic is a little backed up going the way that you are, but that's normal. Like the driver seems totally like, yeah, this is just the thing. Traffic the other way, holy fucking shit. It is
all the rubbernecking.
Yes. Also people like fucking crowd in a kaiju film. Fucking. Oh, I guess Something fun's happening downtown. Oh no. No. That's people aren't going towards downtown.
They're not making their way downtown?
What? Why? Okay. So if people are in that big
Is
of a
the
rush
house
to go
walking
down,
fast?
if people are in that big of a rush to get downtown, but they're not going to downtown, we're going towards something that people are trying to get away from. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. You got it in one. You're very smart cab driver. $80, $80, $80, $80, $80.
Oh,
That
no.
that felt offensive. That felt offensive. I don't know. Yikes on bikes.
It takes a little bit of time, but you get to Cow Anderson Park. It has a slightly different name in the part that you're in, but no one fucking remembers what that name is. So I'm saying Cow Anderson Park. It's there's no real place to park. I mean, there are,
Yeah,
but
I don't need to
effectively there
park.
aren't.
I just need to get out of the car. Yeah.
Yeah. You get out. There is a house standing in the middle of the soccer field. And there's a soccer ball there, and there's no one playing soccer. It is
Faint strands
pretty
of
empty.
it's called soccer. Clap, 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 clap. That was great. I don't care. I'm sorry.
It's so fucking dumb, but it's also
Mhm.
Back inside the house, this your babushka, she told you what's coming, right? She would be a bad babushka if she didn't.
She told me that something was coming. I forget. Did she actually say like war was coming?
Yes. Yeah, she said straight up war.
She said more was coming.
She is correct. It might be possible to prevent it, but I've been around a long time. When you see a boulder start rolling off the top of a hill, you don't get under the boulder and push. You get out of its way. Or maybe you push the sides of it to steer it away from a village that you like. I'm not you. You can do as you please, of course. But that is my experience.
Is it really all that bad? Whatever's coming?
War is war.
But whose war is this?
Do you know people who think they're on the right side and do cruel things? It's
Yes.
theirs. People who believe that they are doing the right thing can justify anything they want. It's happened before. It's happening now. And it will happen again. What's Thorns doing?
Thorns right now, I think they're listening. and trying to make sense of what Baba Yaga is telling to BP. And I think at the moment they're also trying to figure what Baba Yaga has in store for them. But at the very end, they'll let the conversation between the two others end, and then intervene and say, because my concept of punk poison ivy stands strong, and say, well, if something bad happens, you can bet we'll make sure that we'll fight hard as hell to make sure if any bad that happens to us is nothing compared to the bad that happens to whatever fucks with us. Like that.
Good. That's good to hear. Your father sounded unsure of you, but I knew that you would have that spirit. It's not clear who specifically will be in this coming war. Some think of it as a new Tatanamaki, but it's more complicated because there are more children involved this time. Some gods and titans, they think their children do what they want, but children are their own people. They do their own things. They have their own motivation, which is why I don't know if the one that you seek right now has the full support of his father. He might. I doubt it. But I don't know that that will make much of a difference in the end. He's a little shit.
Honestly, even if he has the full support of whatever pantheon or divine parent he has, I don't care at all. I think I ate this person already for a lot of reason, and that's all I need to know. And I'm speaking to myself for myself here, but that's what it is.
Do you know who his father is? His divine parent?
I know that he is.
BP makes the good questions here.
Look at us being good at this.
Trying to figure out
even got a
if she'd
good grade
give
on
this
it
for free. Go ahead and give me persuasion and composure, which is probably your best fucking dice pool for this anyways. With
does Baba Yaga count as an oddball by any chance?
Yeah, go ahead and add it.
in a sense, technically speaking, I guess so.
That's about right to me.
7 successes.
Jesus shit.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
You
so
had like 9 dice, so it checks out.
yeah,
Well,
so I suggested that dice pool with the idea being that DP is essentially waiting for the moment to like push and to sort of like make an opening, which is why it was composure as opposed to presence or manipulation. Yeah, that was opposed. 7 fucking dice. There's 7 successes. Fucking lot of successes. He is one of the Dharmapalas. He is the Diamond One.
Thank you. That'll help us a lot.
I hope so. Because if he does have his father's support, then, well, that's not one thunderbolt I would recommend getting on the wrong side of. Oh, never mind. I was about to have Damien roll, but Damien's not in there yet. And Damien might not ever want to be in there.
Damien definitely does not want to be, but Damien has a plan to get up there.
Oh, Lord.
Speaking of which,
If we're
it's back to you. You are in or at least near a soccer field with a house on chicken legs, kind of dead-eyeing the Seattle Police's Eastern Precinct.
okay.
that's Scion.
I'm sort of looking at the house and going, those motherfuckers climbed, didn't they? Damien don't climb. These arms aren't built for climbing. I know we talked about not having all of my birthrights yet, but I definitely have the Death Stone. Whose purview is sky. And motif is voice of the tribe. And I'm just over there. These 2 idiots are up there talking to her. They need someone who can speak better, who can
Doing well.
who can negotiate better. Listen, we all have our things. I don't punch plant bears. You don't negotiate with possible titans. We stay in our lanes, is what I'm saying. Also, none of you are here, so shut up. None of you hear me giving you shade. This is me. I have the Death Stone in my hand. The motif of it is the voice of the tribe. And I would like to perform a Marvel.
Sweet.
Because I don't actually have, I have the sky purview, but no boons from it. So what I would like to do is keying off of the voice of the tribe thing, which I initially put in there so that I can sometimes access Voice of Thunder. Which if it was anybody but Baba Yaga, I would use to then shout to tell them to get down here. But no.
Yeah.
Instead, I would like some version of limited flight for me and Addy to get us up there.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly certain how I go about doing it. I think I spend a legend is what I do.
Yeah. Because against trivial characters, you can do it for free, but anyone else, it will. Actually,
I'm not quite certain what that means in this context.
So trivial characters are basically
mooks.
Anyone,
Okay.
yeah, anyone who like doesn't have a name, isn't terribly important. The cab driver would be a trivial character. Like even if it ends up getting a name. Trying to find the sky boons.
I have the page.
Okay.
Oh, sky boons are elsewhere. Flight usually just covers one person, and there's like a time limit, and you can control your flight and then fall gracefully. I just need to get up there. I'm not actually trying to fly around or like zoom around and do extra flips and shit. I just need the both of us up there.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So basically, because you're using the Marvel to emulate a boon that you don't have, basically like the cost goes up like one step. So if it were free, you would imbue a legend. Since flight is imbue one legend, you spend it.
Yep.
And you're up there.
Dope. So I'm like, so in my head, so this is how this looks. I'm like rolling the death head around in both hands. I do have the actual crystal skull. I'll grab it next time that we're on so I can like have a little thing here. But I'm toying with it, going, they should not be doing this without me. And then, well, what time of day is it? Or night or whatever?
It's about 2 p.m.
Okay.
It can very briefly not be.
Can it very briefly not be?
Yes.
Because it doesn't work if it's during the day.
Would you like a full moon?
Nah, that's fine. I just need it to be nighttime, because then spectral fruit bats sort of just like appear and sort of like envelop the two of us, and that's how we're getting up there in like a cloud of spectral fruit bats. These are the goat's bats of Coco Boy.
Yeah, no, it makes tons of fucking sense. And just goth as fuck.
Yeah, it is. And now we're on Baba Yaga's porch. Are they still in the doorway with the door open, having taken 2 steps in and then froze immediately?
The door's closed.
Okay. Nah.
The door creaks open.
Of course it does.
It is impenetrably dark. You. I've been expecting you. Come in.
Thank you. And I enter. Does Addie enter with me? She's still with me.
Yes. Also, between flying up there and entering, do you look at Addie?
Yes, I definitely check on her.
You know that kind of like camera peacock thing that she sometimes does?
I don't know what those words mean.
So like sometimes she has like cameras that just sort of go click
yes.
and then like
Yes.
envelop.
Okay.
You're up until this moment, you couldn't really picture what like the opposite of that would be. That's happening now though. Like instead of kind of a sure look on her face and sort of using her arms to frame things and to feel her surroundings and get an idea for optimum camera coverage. Her arms are like this, like shoulders snapped back, like she feels like there's the potential that she might get like stabbed in the back or like Mortal Kombat spine rip. Like she is in like the most protective posture you have ever seen her in.
Listen. Hey.
Yeah.
Right here with me, right here.
It-
You good?
Sure.
Ain't nothing is gonna happen in there to you that ain't gonna happen to all of us. We got you.
Okay.
And then we go inside.
Like she pre-empathy check, she believes you because you're you. She's still scared of shit though. But that's fine.
I'm glad she believes me because it'd be a shame to have to use the innate of deception to make her believe me because I don't believe me.
No, you I'm not gonna make you roll to lie to Addie.
Me
BP
getting
and
these
Thorns have to roll to lie to Addie.
because
Damien
I am
doesn't.
definitely afraid. Because I am definitely afraid of shit. But you don't let. This is not something I would say out loud, but you don't let things like this let you know that you're afraid. They do know, but you don't let them know.
turns out that spending 5 dots of birthright for a guide can cause problems.
Just a skosh.
A little bit, a little tiny bit.
Smidge, soupçon.
And Damien walks into the void and you're in a lightless cave and the your footsteps don't echo, and you can't see the sides of the cave, but you know that you're in a cave. You're walking without any sort of problems. And in the extremely unlikely case that you reach out to touch the sides, it would just feel like volcanic rock, like obsidian and basalt. And you don't get a sense of overwhelming dread like you thought that you might, but you do get the distinct impression that this is not in the world.
Presence of magic. Am I in a magical place?
You sure are.
Do I have to roll to know if Baba Yaga has any honorifics or epithets that that stories tell us are respectful and preferable to, as opposed to her name?
I know that she's sometimes called the Bony One, but I don't know if that's a name that she would like. So I'm going to say Damien does know it, and I'll look it up later. Or if no one has written down a title that Baba Yaga would actually like to be called, I'll make one up. At any rate, Damien knows it.
I begin the sentence with that name, my host. Where do we find our... Sorry, one more question. Is Addie with me? Can I tell this?
Roll one die.
2.
You're not sure.
Okay. Again, that name, my host. Where do I find myself, and may I ask to the condition of my comrades?
The lightless cave kind of peels off from around you as if you were inside of an orange or some other rinded fruit that just sort of split open from...
As one does.
You don't necessarily feel like it's split open from rot or anything, but you wouldn't dismiss that idea. It was decay adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
And you are inside a warm hut in the middle of a dark forest. It smells like a bit of decay, a bit of wood smoke, a lot of onion, and you see
Delicious.
you see BP and Thorns seated next to Baba Yaga, and there's this sort of fractal disturbance that just sort of sprouts from in between the two in between the two of your friends, and there's an Addie there fucking death gripping the sides of the chair that she is in. There's a chair for you, and what you thought might have been like a support pillar or something is definitely a a sapient tree person thing, which takes you a second, and then you're like, oh, it's a Leshy. Maybe it's the Leshy. And you're in.
May I take a seat?
You may be seated. With my compliments.
I said.
I'll intervene a little moment, and I happen to have a name for Baba Yaga that I think sounds well, and I'd like to use. So maybe give an announcement to whatever Damien you might want to say. Sorry. And Tors had not the time to learn Russian yet, but they have the Bogovi Pantheon's purview power that makes them understand basically anything organic says. So I'll just use that to express in a way that might not be Russian, but might be Bogovi, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And call Baba Yaga Grandma of the Land, which is a nice name, which I think she would appreciate.
Landmaw.
Grandma of the
Yeah.
Land. This is my friend Damien, and I think you'll find he is a nice, he's an interesting person to speak with. So let me introduce him to you.
This is probably the dumbest thing Damien's ever done.
Yet.
I offer my hand to Baba Yaga to shake. Hello, I am Damien de la Cruz. Sorry, I'm gonna actually do something else too. So in Latin naming conventions, sometimes you'll have like more than one last name. You'll have the last name of your other parent too.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't pronounce the last name of my god, but when I introduce myself, it is Damien de la Cruz y that name.
Huyaba.
Yep. Yeah. And I offer her my hand to shake.
It is nice to meet you, finally. I have heard much about you. When her hand clasps yours briefly, you feel for a second like there's this tug of war on your soul, like it wants to leave, via your hand and then wants to shrink back. And her hand is very bony. It doesn't look bony, but it is. And
the honor is mine. Thank you.
so you have many options before you. I believe your friends know where to look and how to find the one you pursue. What are you going to do next? And do you want my help? And that's where we're ended.
Dope.
I don't know that I don't know that accomplished any of your deeds. I think it probably got each of you a bit closer to it.
I think so.
Like, honestly, most of your deeds have progress to them today.
On the cusp of some deeds, yes.
Yeah, I think
Right on the edge.
which is
The edging we mentioned at the beginning, yes. All part of the plan.
yeah. So we'll go around and let folks know or remind folks who are you, where who you've been playing, and where they can find your stuff to give you money and other good stuff. So I think in the beginning I started with Michaela, so this time around I'll go with Elliot. Elliot, who are you? Who have you been playing? And where can people find your stuff?
I am Elliot Freeman, a writer and developer for Exalted. You can find me on the putrefying corpse of Twitter at Elliot M. Freeman.
Damien. David. David, who are you? Who have you been playing so well that I am calling you by your character's name? And where can people find your stuff?
Who is the player? Who is the character? Who am I? I am David Kester, they, them. You can find me on the aforementioned Putrefying Corpse of Twitter at the Inked Knight. You can also find me on the apparently heavily compromised Hive at the same URL. And more often this week than really ever before on the Onyx Path Scion rooms, talking about stuff and posting fan content. You can find me also at davidcastro.net, patreon.com/Inkstain Studios, and I don't really have much of my own to promote right now. So it is winter holiday time. Go buy gifts from Dirty Kepi at ithaspockets.gay.
Yes. Now, I was about to say I'm even wearing one of their skirts, but no, I'm not. Wore it yesterday. I have several. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Michaela, who are you? Who we've been playing, and where can people find your stuff?
Hello everyone, I'm Michele Masa, him. I've been playing Elena Torres Rappaccini, Scion of Valence. I still have my profile on Twitter, but I basically abandoned the place because that corpse is too festering and too horrible to hang around for me at the moment. So I decided to jump on a lifeboat. So you can find me on Tumblr at Ghost of Cinders. So I'm trying to establish new routes in there, and also on the Onyx Path Discord, and where I appear whenever I fancy so, basically. And since I think this will air likely still in the season, you can check out my supplement for They Came From. They came from the North Pole, which allows you to use any of the They Came From course to run your very own Christmas specials. And also on that note, we might have something coming on the Onyx Path Twitch for They Came From. So keep an eye on that. We might have something going around.
I think that game will actually beat this one out.
Could be. Oh, then I'm speaking from the future and speaking about the past. I hope you enjoy that, if that happened. If so,
Yeah, if nothing else, fucking I'll link to it in the chat and be like, now that you're done watching this, watch that. Yeah, it'll be great. I'm Hiromi, they them. I've I guess been playing Addie and Baba Yaga. And you can find my profile on Twitter. I'm not there anymore. I also have content on TikTok. I might go back to there now that Twitter is not a great place to be. A much more reliable place to find me is on Onyx Path's Discord, especially the Scion channels, which I probably read everything people post. I don't necessarily respond to everything because the community there is fucking rad. And a lot of times, by the time I find a question that needs to be answered, someone has already provided the correct answer. Scion fans are fucking great. So yeah, that's us. We've been the Scion Showcase, and fucking be nice to people, unless they're bigots, in which case let them know they fucking suck. Ruin their Christmas, ruin whatever holiday they have, and stay safe. We're in a pandemic and it's winter, which means it's also cold and flu season. Fucking wear masks. We all have them, or at least many of us do. And masks are great for preventing cold and flus also. So do that. There are shots you can take, get your flu shot. It's good stuff. We'll see you next time. Bye.